Okay, guys, let me show you my new Inquisition. No, Inquisition is from the Spaniards. My new requirement, no requirements when they're asking you for like fill it up what do you call that when you're looking for a job. Let me show you what I just bought. That's better. I bought these guys last, when was it? Last Saturday? Yes. Last Saturday. I found these bad boys marketplace for an absolute amazing price. So I said to myself, you know what? I think it's time for you to get one of those sets from from Technics. The Technics A7000 model. Actually, no, wait. Is the SB7000A model. Let me tell you, I was not really, well, first I thought these things were bigger, but they are not bigger. They're basically like a regular speaker with a weird box. That's what they are. Sound wise, these things sound amazing. Amazing. What is powering these speakers? That bad boy over there. That's a Pioneer X SX 1250. That's one of those. And that thing is doing wonders with these speakers. The sound of these speakers is really good. You can adjust the tweeter and the mid-range speaker, and also you can do the same thing with the receiver, which that's something that I always liked, because I don't believe in you buy an amplifier that doesn't have any knobs. I don't believe in that crap. Every human being has a taste for a different sound, and if the device that you have allows you to get the sound that you like, go for it. Anyway, like I said, I was not really expecting much from these speakers, because you read reviews on the internet that they sound really good and yada 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 and all the stuff, but if you don't hear the speakers yourself, you don't really know what to expect. Well, now I know they sound really good, and I'm looking for the other model. There is the other model, kind of like this one, but that one is sorry, the I believe is the A77. So I'm looking for the model, and I'm gonna get the model because I like these guys. Now, well, these speakers were built back in 1975, so they're very old. Let me show you. They have a bunch of things. They have to be has to be corrected or fixed, or whatever you guys call it. This thing here, these speakers originally came with a phone that is to dub the mid-range speaker. I gotta get me a phone, a really nice one, because I do everything with taste. Okay, we don't do shit in here. We do everything nice. I want nice, and nice is what I'm gonna get. So I'm gonna get that, but before I do that, I'm gonna take the box. I'm gonna remove all the pieces. You see this thing right here? You see this? Did you see that? Yeah, that's driving me insane. So I gotta fill it up this with wood filler, saying in here, everywhere. I gotta remove the tweeter, clean the steam very well. The box is gonna be paint piano finish, black, glossy. I'm thinking, because these guys came from Japan, this is a Japanese company, I'm gonna put something Japanese on the sides, but tasteful. Nothing stupid. Not like that. I like that frame. It's a beautiful frame, but we're not gonna be using that frame. Something that show the origin of the speakers. Who made the speakers? Like I said, it's Japanese people, so we gotta make sure these guys represent the country. Once the box is fixed and shiny and beautiful, I'm gonna jump to paint this guy white. Obviously, we're gonna leave the black surround foam black. No one is touching that. The same with the woofer. By the way, the woofer is made out of this really rigid material, and it's really good. White, piano finish, glossy. Some cool Japanese writing on the side, but tasteful. Okay, nothing stupid. No. Nice. I want nice. This bad boy here, the surround has a little hole in here. You see the hole? A little hole in there. So we gotta fix that, and it's the same story. Once I get the 77s, No, wait. The 77. No, the 77. What are you trying to say? The 7070. That's it. I'm gonna do the same thing to those because these speakers, they sound really good. These guys remind me a little bit like my old Bowers and Wilkins Nautilus 801s. Not the original, the ones from 2012. You know, the ones the tall ones. They have the yellow ring and the mid-range speaker. They remind me a little bit of those. But yeah, that's the story. Here we have our friend, the Sony NPM77, still waiting because I mean it takes time to do wonderful things. This guy's gonna be, I gotta reveneer this whole thing, fix every corner, fix any scratches and stuff. Reveneer this guys. It's gonna be dark cherry. Again, I'm gonna put some Japanese writing somewhere over the rainbow. And I'm gonna make custom stands. I made these ones a while back. This one has wheels. I'm gonna do the same for these guys because these guys are heavy. Something that I love. I like it a lot. About these bad boys is the industrial look. These handles here. This whole thing. When I see chunks of aluminum with bolts or screws, brother, I lose I lose it. Okay. I love, for example, you see the Sony audio scope? I like that. It looks industrial. It looks like something that came from a lab. The same with that cassette deck. By the way, that guy came from Germany. You only find those guys in Germany. Anything that has industrial look on, man, I'm a sucker. I hate myself for selling my Pioneer 590. The one that has the middle, the meter in the side, that you turn it on, it looks. I sold it because things were rough back then. Someone owed me a lot of money, and I was forced to sell some of my stuff to pay my bills and stuff. Yeah, I mean, I gotta tell you because don't get me wrong, I make good money, but brother, if you deal with the wrong people, they can drag you down, and that dragging down cost me basically 5 of my turntables. Now, thank God, I was able to find, for example, I used to have one of those, but I sold that one. I sold the Pioneer. I sold my Marantz 6300. What else I sold? I sold my Pioneer 570. Now, thank God, I found this one. I found this one like a year ago. Then, as you can see over there, I have the Pioneer 570 again. I found this one. This one was the only one that I kept. I kept because this is why I'm going to be selling my Sony 8750. But later on in Marketplace, I found more. I think this one came from Marketplace, and this one came from eBay. This poor thing is beat up, man. This thing, I know this turntable was in some other country because this one is an international model. And if you are thinking what international model means, is this one is the one that has the switch, the voltage switch. You can put 240, 110. What is the other voltage? 120? Well, this one has that. And I really like this one. I was planning to do restoration, like full restoration on this turntable, but I mean, it depends. I mean, because I still thinking. Take a look at that. See the platter. Platter is the chine is completely gone. The tone arm lifted was bended. As you can see, the dust cover is not even the original one. This turntable is supposed to look like this. Do you see the chine and the platter? Now take a look at that. The aluminum finish is exposed. I was thinking to send it to someone who can do a polishing. I mean, right now I'm still thinking. But yeah, that's the story. My friends ask me, man, why do you have so many turntables of the same model? To me, the Sony 8750 is a beautiful piece of engineering. I know that people don't like Sony. Forget for a moment that this thing is Sony. Remove the brand. The people responsible for the construction of this turntable knew exactly what they were doing. There is no other turntable like this in the world, and that's why when people find this turntable, they fall in love with it, because the design of this bad boy is timeless. I was a while back, I make a video on YouTube, and in the video I said, if you find one of those turntables for cheap, grab it. Pay the guy the money and run for the hills, because this thing, it's true they're a little delicate because all the technology this thing has inside. But if you take this turntable to the technician and this thing is fully operational, man, you will not regret it. This thing is beautiful, and sound-wise, trust me, man, you're not gonna get better than this. This turntable is amazing. But anyway, going back to the Technics, or like someone said, the Technics. Here are the Technics. I mean, it's really astounding how the Japanese people changed the stereo equipment market. Everything these people, I mean, these guys were built in 1975. Once I'm finished with these guys, and trust me, you're gonna be blown away, because what I want to do with these guys, it's tasteful. They're gonna look amazing. They're gonna look amazing. I have the covers. I have everything. These things in here, I mean, I was thinking this just to carry the speakers around, but no. But this thing was made just to hold the grills. That's the whole purpose of this thing, to hold the grills. You grab the speakers from here. Take a look at this. What is this? What is that? Oh my God! No! I gotta paint it again. Has to be painted. Don't worry. I'm gonna save you. You're gonna be fine. Well, anyway, sorry, I just drink coffee with a lot of sugar and I'm all over the place. These things were basically just for that, to hold the grills in place. I mean, just this is what you talk about money. These guys were not cutting corners. I mean, let's put something really expensive just to hold the grill. But what about no screw holes? Who the hell? Nobody wants holes in here. Let's put some pieces of steel in the side, so that way the grill can be whole and it looks and make the speaker look more amazing. This thing is loud, by the way. I don't really like to hear my music loud. Let me show you how loud I put my receiver. This bad boy, when this bad boy is on, which is not all the time because I'm always working. You see where this thing is right now? What is that? It's 46. That's how much I if I go more than 46, let's say I go 35, 34, it's too loud for me. And with these guys, trust me, it gets loud, man. It's insane how loud this thing. And I was told by the guy who sold me the speakers that these things were for DJs. I don't really know, because to me these things look too expensive for DJs. But knowing how loud they sound, it makes kind of sense. Here you have the how do you call this thing? Not the specifics. I forgot that. How do you call this thing? Schematics. Schematics when you're looking to build something. The frequency, that I forgot the word. Okay, so you have here. Trust me, this thing. Something that I like is the knobs. Oh, so satisfying. So satisfying. Hear that? That's precision. That's something that you don't get these days. I like the connections. I don't believe in thick cables. That's stupid. I don't care. If I remove the woofers or the how do you call this thing? The woofer or the mid-range speaker, the cable inside is the same one, same thickness. So you putting a thicker cable to supply the speaker with power is a waste of time. And I tell you that because a friend of mine who was really smart, electric engineer, told me, dude, this whole audiophile crap is just snake oil. But again, if you believe in that, more power to you. Me, I took the speakers apart. I have seen how these things are built. The whole gold-plated terminals, it's all nonsense. But yeah, so, oh, by the way, these guys in here, I was planning to sell these guys. But now, I always knew these guys were Technics. This model, this brand was created uh, for how you call this company? JCPenney, I think it was. Yeah, this brand was only sold in JCPenney, but these bad boys are Technics. The Twitter sound. I mean, these things are really. The only way I can describe it is they're really bright, really bright speakers. You have to find a way to play with a woofer because they're really like. Trust me, you cannot really put too much value on these things because they will drive you insane. The Twitter is really powerful. But yeah, my favorite speakers always. Well, now I really like this one because the bass is really, you feel the bass in your stomach, and I like that. Always the Sony 77 because these things are a jewel of engineering. Very balanced speakers. I have no problem with these guys. Acoustic music in this type of model and this type of speaker sounds amazing. Amazing. Not even the Bose and Wilkins have the acoustics. These guys and the Sony 66 ES66 have. The Twitter in this speaker is magical. That's the only thing I can tell you. Then we have in here the famous, but not well known by everyone. Oh yeah. The Monitor 3 from Technics too. These things, again, the Twitter bass, the bass response in these speakers is really good too. And again, I did the stands. I'm gonna make something like that for these guys, but fancier with better wood. Probably I'm gonna get me a board of walnut and make the bass with wheels because I don't believe in carrying speakers around. That's stupid. If you can put wheels on it. Also, I'm gonna select a really nice set of wheels because everything has to be eye candy. Eye candy for everything. I mean, I'm making the things myself, so why not? Why not? It's just, I mean, for example, in here I did a little 45 in here, a little 45 in here. I think it's I put 3 screws to hold the 6x6. I think that's a 4x4, the 4x4, and then the wheels. So it's just a little. You grab your mighty saw and your table saw. You take the time, and you do wonderfuls. Okay, you do wonderfuls. That's all it is. That's all it is. Thinking about money, fuck money. Money doesn't bring you anything. Just, it's like the song says, more money, more problems. Come on, man, be serious. Anyway, I really like the way these things connect. You see this one? This is a rubbery piece of rubber. Oh, no, really? Wow. This is the plastic packing there, and you just, let me show you. And then, as you get, oh wow. And then, anyway, for later. But yeah, that was the video. Just to show you my brand new, not so new because they're from 1975, but they are new to me. Technics SBA 7000s. I will post more videos when I'm doing the restoration so you guys can see everything. It's very simple. The way you paint these guys, if you're a professional painter, I don't like to brag, but I am one, is you put this thing on one of those tables that spin around, you put the driver in the center, and you take your brush. Obviously your hands are supposed to move, and you just take the brush with enough paint, and you just let the rotation of the table do the job. You don't move your hand. You just like the needle on the turntable, and you paint all around. And then you come to the center, and you make sure that your brush is not overcharged of paint, and you paint this guy here. These guys, I got to do a little. You see this? I mean, you cannot really see it because the camera is not that good, but because the drivers are so old, the material, the fabric is releasing the whatever you call that, the fibers. So that's why it has to be painted. But that's it. Okay, guys, thank you very much. This video took way too long. I'm leaving because I gotta go back to work. Thank you very much for everything. Subscribe, like, comment, criticize me, say whatever you want. I don't care. No one is perfect. We all have issues, but that's the cool thing about life. That's what makes life beautiful. Our mistakes, the things that make us, that's all it is. Anyway, goodbye.